What up, YouTube? It's the Ways, and I'm Tia, and today we're gonna do Beauty My Way. If this is your first time here, definitely welcome. If not, welcome back. Today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do a dedication video to my grandmother, Glenora Thomas. Her birthday is gonna be June 22nd, and I am filming this video on June 20th, which is Father's Day. But I wanted to do a nice little dedication video to my grandmother. She would be 79 years old this year. She passed away in 2007, and I just want to bring something to reminisce and look back at who she was as a person. She didn't really wear a lot of makeup, but this is going to be about her makeup. My makeup look will be based on what I feel her personality is when it comes to my makeup aesthetics in this look. So I'm really excited. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're here, that means you watched a couple videos. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and that like button, and let's get into this look. So I've already washed my face, and we're gonna throw on some primer. And today we're gonna kind of do a little chatty video. Normally I kind of do a voiceover, but I felt like it might be nice just to chit chat with you a little bit. Try to keep it short and simple because my grandmother was very simple and at peace and no drama. Okay, she was very free like this hair. But what we are going to do is we're going to tame it a little bit. We're just going to set it back until we finish our look, okay? And if you want to see some ideas on hair, definitely let me know in the comments. But we're going to go in with this e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I found it in Walmart yesterday, and I was really intrigued. I was like, it kind of, the way it sounded kind of reminded me of like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So I'm just warming up in my fingertips. It said to like pat it into your skin. And it kind of has a cooling effect. It smells like mint and vanilla. Has hyaluronic acid in it. I took this primer, the e.l.f. primer, and then I took the Hydro Grip primer on the back of my hand just to see if I can feel a difference. And they really kind of felt the same to me. I'm going to take a little bit more. So this makeup look is dedicated to my grandmother. She was born June 22nd, 1942 in Texas. I'm not sure exactly what city in Texas. I guess I should have found that out. But she ended up in Sacramento, California, where all of my family is. So we're going to let that sit for a second. So I try to do my nails because one thing I remember dearly about my grandmother is she always did her nails. Like, she didn't go to the shop. She did her nails on her own. They were beautiful nails. So pretty. And so I did my own nails. Please do not judge because they were looking a hot mess. And I was like, I cannot get on this video and disrespect my grandmother by having some raggedy nails. So I tried to make them really cute before we started this video. We're going to get into these brows. I found this brow pencil that I've been loving. It's by Waye Cosmetics, and it's called Brow Down to Me Precision Brow Pencil. I did pick up a new color, which is brunette, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows, clean them up, and then we'll be right back so we can talk about my grandma, because it's going to be hard to talk about my grandmother trying to fill in some brows, and they are looking a hot mess. I did find this brow pencil in CVS. I'm not sure where else you can find it, but that's where I found it, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So we got one brow on. This is a new color that I got. This is dark brown. Or brunette. I'm sorry. This is brunette. I have been using the ebony. The ebony is more ashy, which I actually kind of like because I don't feel like my hair is totally brunette or black. You know what I mean? But look just how natural this brow does. And I know my grandmother would have had a natural brow. Okay. She's not bougie. She's very simple. She is serene and peace. She's a freaking Cancer. You know what I mean? So like, and I'm a Pisces, so I feel her on that water sign level. And she would have had a real natural brow. I don't even know if she would have went in with all this. And this is just a little extra, but not too much. You know, we got to keep them in place and make them look more filled in since we haven't had our brows done in a minute. But yeah, I'm just loving this pencil. It's about $9 and I think it's totally worth it. Like, look at that. And the color is on point. I like the brunette. There's our brow. So I got one eye prepped. I went ahead and used concealer and an eyeshadow base to prep my eye for these eyeshadows, but I want to come on and show you what I did on the other eye. By the way, I'm using the Beauty Bakery Instabake 3-in-1 concealer, and this is in Cream Brulee. This is like one of my favorite concealers right now, but we're just cleaning up the eyebrow with this underneath. So my grandmother was born to Lorraine, my great grandmother, and she also had a brother, my Uncle Tom, and my grandmother ended up having 2 children, my Aunt Charme and my mother, Linda. My mother is the youngest out of my Aunt Charme and my mom. 2 females, and honestly, pretty much my family, a lot of my family, most of my family, I could probably count how many males are in our family, our immediate close family. It's mostly female. Like, there's not very many males. So I'm taking the Playing in Makeup by Yolanda base, and this is in foundation, and I'm just putting it on the bottom part of my lid and blending it into that concealer. And the reason why I wanted to use this color is because we're kind of going to go, I really want the colors that I'm going to put on my lid today to pop. And to make sure that it does pop, if you use a lighter foundation base, then that will make your colors pop even more than normal. With like a concealer that's your tone, or no foundation or concealer base at all. Plus the foundation base is going to help for my lids not to crease. And yeah, so she had 2 children. She raised them the best way that she could. I feel like my auntie and my mom are very strong women, which I know that they got from my grandmother, because she was totally strong. Like, I don't know, you know, she did get married, but she was a single mom for a while, and I know what that's like, you know, and she did everything she could to make sure that they were taken care for, safe and loved. And that's all that a mother can really do. There is no manual for being a mother, especially a single mom, you know. So I really respect that about her. All right, so let's get into this eye look, because my grandmother had very many layers, and that's why I'm going this way with this eye look today. I'm gonna put on a little bit of this Tula Skincare Glow and Get It Cooling Brightening Eye Balm, and this is Balm. And I just been feeling like my eyes have been super duper dark and they need some hydration. It's been a rough couple weeks, so and then when I put on my concealer, it will be really smooth and hydrating underneath my eyes, and I won't have any patchiness or anything like that. I really feel like I'm getting drier these days, and you know, I am in Arizona, but I've been in Arizona my whole life, but I just feel like my skin is changing. I'm breaking out all over the place. It's a hot freaking mess, but we're not going to worry about that. So yeah, but this eye balm is bomb. And where did I get it? Where did I try it? If you don't know, Boxy Charme. So let's get into this eye look. So first we're going to go into this Playing in Makeup by Yolanda, the Jamrock No Limitations palette. This is an awesome palette. This is probably my favorite palette from her. Brought you in a little closer so we can get close and comfortable together. So we're going to go into this color called Peter Gale, which is a nice grungy yellow to kind of match my shirt. My grandmother's favorite color was yellow, and so is mine, honestly. And I just love that we have that in common. It also reminds me of the sun. Her and my mom used to always sing to her, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." Not trying to get demonetized, even though I'm not monetized yet, but they try to tag me on something recently regarding something, you know, so we're not going to sing the whole song, but you get the gist of it. And my mom really loved that song, and used to sing it to my grandmother all the time. That's why if you notice in the description of this video, it's called "You Are My Sunshine." I tried to also film in natural light today. I did have to put on a little bit of light because my room is pretty dark. But what we're going to do with this Peter Gale is we're just going to take this all over the lid. And like I said, this color represents my grandmother loving yellow and me loving yellow too. She would be way more simple than this. She might even just put this color on. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really see her wearing makeup. The gist of her fashion sense to me was really her nails and this ring. She always wore this ring, and it is beautiful. And you know, when she passed away, I said, I don't want anything else but this ring. Like, it reminds me of my grandmother so much, besides Pepsi's, because she drank a lot of Pepsi. That was her favorite. There's no Coke in this house, okay? My husband tries to be sneaking in Cokes. My daughter sneaks in Cokes. But if I'm going to drink a cola product, it is going to be a Pepsi. And it will always be in remembrance of my grandmother, because that's what she always had in her house, was freaking Pepsi. So, but anyways, so we're going to take this color all over the lid. Really love this color. This is not a playing in makeup by Yolando video, but she has some great products. And if you're looking for an indie brand, a black owned indie brand, I'm telling you, like, this palette, look at it. Look at that color, so pretty. Some awesome creamy shimmers. But we're gonna also go into the color Sarah. This brown here is kind of a cool brown color, and we're gonna take Sarah. Actually, before we do Sarah, I want to go into something else, the way I want to layer this on. So my grandmother is from California. It being Sacramento, I mean, that's one thing. There's not really beaches, but I still think of water because she is a Cancer and she's from California. So the sun and the beach, and I love going to the beach. Like, that is my favorite thing besides Gym Boys. And if you're from Sac, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there is nothing like a Gym Boys taco. But we're gonna go into this Natasha Denona palette. This is very rare. I got this in Boxy, Charme, and like my grandmother, she was very rare, like just different and at ease and not like your average Joe, something you wouldn't expect. And so that's why I'm going into this palette, and we're gonna use this yellow here. This is called Limoncello. It's beautiful. Let me swatch it for you. I don't even know if that's doing justice, but it's so nice and creamy. She's very classy lady, my grandmother. That's how I look at her, and that's how I look at Natasha Denona palette. So we're gonna go into this Limoncello, and with this Limoncello shade, we're gonna take it on the inside, and we're just gonna press. Now, I do want to wet this down because I really want it to pop. It kind of has some reflex of green in there, which I don't know if you could tell, but I really want this to pop on my eye because this is the sun, this is the yellow, this is my grandmother shining through from the heavens, you know? Like, this is what it's all about, this color right here. This what inspired me to do this look, and missing my grandmother and wanted to give her recognition on her birthday really came from this color. My grandmother worked for the government. She used to always tell me, Tia, you need a government job. I was like, yeah, whatever, Grandma. I'm going to sell this makeup at Macy's. And she would always tell me, and I'm very proud because my sister and my cousin Patrice, which Patrice is my first cousin, and my sister Sade, which I've talked about before, they both work for the government. So they're like following in the footsteps of my grandmother, and I love it. And they have great jobs. And now I'm kind of jealous, and I'm like, I should have listened to my grandmother back then. That wisdom that was coming through back then, I should have freaking listened. She also did dabbled in some real estate, which is interesting because my mom does do a little real estate. And if she would have never done real estate, we wouldn't be in this house that we're in right now, you know? Single mom at the time with 3 kids, well, 2. Trying to find a house on her own, it would have never happened. But thank God for my mom and her expertise in the real estate. And I'm sure she got that from her mom, you know? Because grandma did it first. Like, if grandma did it first, you got it from grandma. These are very pigmented shadows by Natasha Denona. I think that some of these shadows in this palette come from different palettes that she has launched. I just don't have any. I know that these smaller palettes like this range in like $45. You're not going to find this exact one because, like I said, it's very rare and it was made especially for Boxy Charme. She also has smaller ones that you can try. That I have a green one. It's so beautiful. 25 bucks. It's like totally worth it. But her big palettes range in the $125 range. So if you can find one that you want to try the formula and you like the color scheme, I say totally go for it. This is my favorite color scheme. We're going to use this color right here too, which I believe is called Enigma. We're also going to use Mint Frost in this look because, like I said, my grandmother had many layers. But these are beautiful shades. I'm in love with these. If this palette was just these 3 shades, sold. Take Peter Gale and kind of blend that out. All right, then I'm going to go back into the No Limitations palette, like I said, and we're going to use the color Sarah. Sarah with my grandma reminds me that my grandmother loved to garden. Like, she was a gardener. And I love it because when you can do your own produce and, you know, go into your garden and have that peace and serenity and meditation and just like really get one with the earth, like that is everything. You know, living in Phoenix, I'm pretty sure we could grow some stuff. I see cornfields. You know, we could grow some stuff, but am I going to be able to grow what I really want to grow? I do have a little mini garden, and it reminds me of my grandmother too. I have 2 of them, and those arrow gardens, I love it. I'm growing tomatoes. I'm growing parsley. I have fresh mint. I'm growing rosemary, which that rosemary plant is off the chain. It is doing everything right now that you'd want it to do. So that is my favorite plant right now. But I've been able to grow dill. I've grown basil. The basil is nothing to mess with. That is awesome. So yeah, this color just reminds me that my grandmother loved to garden. And she up until she passed away, I know she had a garden, and I just admired that so much. She also loved to read a lot. That's one memory that I remember of her, and it's unfortunate because I'm not really a reader. But my mom is. She loves to read. My cousin is a reader as well. And I believe they get it from a grandma. She get it from a mama. She get it from a grandma. Okay, so we just took that color Sarah and we're just buffing it into the corner. I took a really small little blending brush and we're just blending that in just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension in this eye, and I am loving it.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today Mommy's gonna do some makeup, and I hope you can like and subscribe and tell her in the comments if you want to do more of this. And yeah.
So that was Jay, and he was Glenora's 5th grandchild. So yeah, he wanted to say hi. He wanted to tell you to subscribe and like. So definitely take the 8 years old, advice. So we got the other eye pretty much looking like the first eye that we did on camera together. Glenora, my grandmother, she did have quite a few grandkids. Had me and Patrice, which we were her 2 grandchildren, and Sade, my sister. Then she had great grandchildren. Unfortunately, well, the fortunate thing is she was able to meet one of her great grandchildren, which is Sila, which is her twin Cancer. Okay, she has a birthday coming up, which is kind of awesome that they're both Cancers. And then there was Josiah, which actually came on May 22nd, so a month later, and technically was supposed to come June 21st, so it would have been the day before my grandmother's birthday, but he came a month later on the day of her birthday, which is kind of cool. Then we have Jada, my daughter, and then we have Evan, which is Patrice's son. Then we have Jay, who you just seen again and you've met before. Then we have Georgia Peach. She's my peach. I love her, which is Patrice's daughter. And then we have Harlem, which is Sade's daughter. So she had, we can count it up. I have 3, Patrice has 3, and then Harlem, that makes 7 great-grandchildren that my grandmother is looking down on every single day. I do believe that. So that's kind of exciting and a nice little legacy to leave behind. So then we're going to go in. We've already put on our primer. I'm going to go in with my Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I'm going to use this one because this one is more like sweat proof and humidity proof. And one thing I can say about my grandmother, and it could have just been, her age and whatnot, but she did sweat quite a bit. So I would recommend this foundation for her in the summertime, in the wintertime, whenever, if she wanted to wear foundation. So I kind of put it all over. I'm just going to, real quick, I put a little bit on the back of my hands. I'm going to take my same brush that I use to clean up my eyebrows, and I'm going to clean up the top part of my brows with this foundation. This will just give you a more natural look than cleaning up with your concealer. I know my grandmother would probably want some snatch brows regardless, but she wouldn't want it to be too highlighted. Like, we want to look like we're not really wearing makeup. So I'm going to use a beauty blender today. I have a yellow beauty blender that I have not used at all. This is the first time, and I was like, you know what? For my dedication video to my grandmother, this is perfect time to use this beauty blender. I have used a brush with this foundation, but today we're going to go light because I don't think she would need a lot of coverage. She had beautiful skin, but just something to really just even it out. Like I said, help with the sweat and humidity. And this would be a very nice foundation for the summertime as well, when her birthday is. So we're just putting this all over. It's so easy to blend out this foundation. I love it. It just looks so beautiful. It just gives everything it needs to give. I know that's the new thing, but it truly does. Now, since I have this on, I'm going to take off this headband because it is irritating me. We're just going to let it flow, the hair, because she would let it flow. I'm going to call my mom Flo. I won't tell you why. She'd be mad at me, but we're just going to let this flow. I feel like she would have had a little mini afro, so I think this hairstyle is perfect. Especially if it was nowadays. Like, she had a mini afro then. If we would have been paying attention and knowing that we don't need perms. And now I do have to say, my grandmother is the first person to ever put a hot comb to my hair. That is a memory I do have, is that she did put a hot comb to my hair. And at the time, like, it was awesome. I was like, yes, now you can't come near my hair with a hot comb for nothing. Maybe like once a year, okay? But one thing I can say is she did not put a perm to my hair. I owe that to somebody else in my family, but we ain't gonna go there. Yeah, so there we go on the foundation. That is a beautiful, and yeah, I highly recommend this Christian Dior foundation if you can find your color. It's bomb. So let's go ahead and do some concealer. We're gonna still stick with the Insta Bake. Just gonna do a little bit here, all my normal spots. Besides gardening, though, my grandmother, she loved to clean. She taught my mom how to be a really good cleaner. Like, my mom cleans like nobody's business now. I'm a lazy wench, but my mom can clean. And she said that she got it from her mom. She got it from her mama. Also, she used to sew a lot, which I remember that because she made me this really cool animal print blanket. Like, I still have it to this day. It's hanging in my front closet. I don't even use it to sleep with it because it's such a huge memory for me. She also got me, I'm looking at it, it's animal print too, and it's one of those things where you can put your pictures, different pictures, and it hangs up, and you just have like a collage of different pictures. It's so cute. But she made that for me. She's made pillows. She was a really good seamstress. Like, not seamstress, I don't know if that's what you call it, but she could sew. And I know seamstress is more like clothing, I believe. I don't remember her making me any clothing, but I do remember the blanket. And I'm pretty sure she made other stuff for like my cousin and my mom and my auntie before she passed away. But that is definitely one thing she was really good at. She also taught my mom how to crochet, which my mom taught me how to crochet, which is really fun. I really like crochet. You can come up with some really nice stuff, and that can make a difference for some people, you know, like clothing, blankets. I had a coworker, she made like little, every holiday, something different regarding the holiday, like a four-leaf clover. For St. Patty's Day, she made like a little basket and put stuff in it for Easter. It was so super duper cute. So crochet was something that my grandmother taught my mom, and she passed down to us to show us how to crochet. Now, I get lazy, so after a while I'm just like, I want this thing done and it's taking too long. So you have to be patient when it comes to crocheting. I'm just taking the back of my beauty blender where I had the foundation and just blending the concealer out, so it looks really seamless around these parts. But this concealer, oh my gosh, I love it. So I could never finish any of my crochet projects. I don't know, I just could never do it. I get excited and I'd want different colors and I go on about all this extra stuff, but never could finish. It was so weird. So we're gonna set underneath these eyes now. I'm going to take Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in honey. I got a mini when it first came out. So we're gonna do a little bit of this just to set. And the reason why I'm using this is because I know that my grandmother would want to be matte, because I know that she tends to get a little oily, and so I think that this would have been the perfect setting powder for her, which is really a lot of people in the beauty community staple is the Laura Mercier setting powder. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush, and I'm just gonna tap that in. Okay, tap that in. One memory that my mom said that she has is that she used to love her some Gladys Knight, which I could totally see that. It's some Al Green. So let's get it on. Oh baby, I'm gonna get so like tagged in this video. So we're just putting this honey setting powder all over where we put our concealer. Nothing new. Oh yes, it's giving a nice brightness to the look, and it doesn't look cakey. That was my main thing about this setting powder. Like, if you know which setting powder I love, which this one is nice, but I get really dry underneath my eyes, so I think putting that Tula eye balm underneath right now first before I did my makeup really is making a difference here. So to set my whole face, I'm going to go in with this Laura Mercier translucent powder in deep. Like I said, this will give me more of a matte finish and a nice, smooth, even finish. This is a really pretty powder for my chocolate girls. Just to set all over your face. Now what I want to do is I want to go back into these eyes. So we're going to go back into this Natasha Denona palette, and we're going to use the color Enigma right here. I'm going to take an angled brush because I want to be very, very precise. This color is beautiful. It looks black, but it's not. Let me do a swatch for you. Oh. It's like a bluish, a navy blue green, which reminds me of the ocean, and which reminds me of a Cancer, which reminds me of my grandmother. Now, one thing I can say about the ocean and my grandmother is we used to go camping when I was younger. And I could have sworn my grandmother was there. I know my aunt was there. And we used to be, me and my cousin, Patrice, we used to be so scared of freaking jellyfish. We thought they were going to suck our blood, which they do. And we were just like terrified of those things. But I do enjoy that we used to go camping. So I'm just precisely putting that along my lash line. Give us a pop of color and add this layer of dimensions that my grandmother had. As a person, a human, which she was a human. She cared about others. She was loving and just wanted her family to be like a family. Like, I remember I wanted to go, me and my cousin, we're close in age. We're like a year apart. We're first cousins. And we were going to go to this amusement park, probably like Six Flags or something. And we're gonna go with my other cousin Sequoia. May she rest in peace as well. Hopefully her and my grandmother are partying it up, you know, next to our father, which would being Father's Day, our Father in heaven. Rest their souls. But they want to go to this amusement park, and I was like, Grandma, I just want to sit and chill with you. Can I just hang out with you? She's like, no, you need to go, get ready, and go with your cousins to this amusement park. She was so real. She was so direct, and that's what we all loved about her. Like, she wasn't sugarcoating anything. She kept it really real. So I'm just smudging out Enigma. Ooh, I absolutely love this color. It might seem like a bit much now, but once we add this lashes on, our mascara, you'll see the vision. Okay? But yeah, my grandmother was very direct. Like, we don't play no games. She ain't sugarcoating it. She's keeping it real. She's just like that type of woman. No fakeness over here. You can keep that over there, you know. No drama, just serene, and this is what it is. And either get aboard or you can get off the boat, you know. So that's what I do love about my grandmother. Let me go ahead and wrap up these eyes, and we'll be back to finish this face. And we back, and we got our eyes on. Okay, look at this. Look, I put a little bit of the Natasha Denona palette, the Mint Frost, which is this color right here, as an inner corner highlight. Oh, that color is gorgeous. Okay. So I put on a little bit of lashes. I don't think my grandmother would have wore lashes. I know she probably would have wore mascara, but I felt like with this look we needed a little bit of oomph. So I just put a little bit of lashes, literally 3 lashes. These are the Ardell pre-cut lashes, and they're like lashes that are cut into 4. So you can get 4 different pieces. I used 3 and left the last one off, and I just kind of emphasized and put more volume on the end of my lashes. I went in with my mascara, my favorite mascara right now. So for one of my favorite women, I had to use it, which is the Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit Cosmetics. Let's warm up this skin because we couldn't be in California without a little bit of bronze, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use the Beauty Bakery Snackaroons bronzer in Perfect Blend, which I brought to you in my Beauty Bakery takeover. If you haven't caught that video, definitely check it out. So I know that this is very pigmented, so I'm just going to use my angled brush and I'm just going to slightly warm up our skin. Ooh. Plus my grandmother was chocolate, okay? So giving her a little bronze moment is good. We're just gonna take that, bronze up, move that hair, not too much, just warming back up the face. I'm not being too precise with this bronzer today. I'm just really warming up the face. We still want to look sun-kissed. It's the middle of summer. You know, just keep it cute, keep it classy, not too much. All right, then we're gonna go into our Blush Bloom palette by Playing in Makeup by Yolanda, and we're gonna go ahead and go into Hollyhock, and just to keep it kind of neutral, Sienna, which is this orangey shade, and I'm just gonna blend the two together. I'm gonna use the same brush I use for my bronzer. This is my favorite blush palette, if you haven't seen it before. All of her palettes come with a huge mirror, and we're just gonna take this up along in here. Ooh, yes, bronze to the gods with the blush. Okay, I'm telling you, that Hollyhock though just hits different. That yellow. And I had to bring it to you in this look for my grandmother with the yellow. And I'm just going to take a little bit more yellow and blend. And blend. Ooh, yes. Okay. She's shining down from the heavens saying, yes, Tia, get it. I am her oldest grandchild, so not to take away anything from the other ones, but I am her oldest grandchild. And I really wish that, you know, my mom had to do what she had to do. But I really wish I would have got to spend more time. And if your grandmother is still alive, definitely spend more time. Love on them. Show them you want to get to know them. Like the real them, not just a piece of them. That's why I really love that my mom is able to really embrace my kids now, because you don't know how long they're going to be around, and you want to get to it's nice to know them for who they really are inside, you know. And I know that my grandmother had a beautiful soul, a beautiful exterior, just an awesome person, especially when she made the kids that she made and the grandkids and the great grandkids. I sent a picture to my cousin the other day of my daughter, and I felt like she looked like her youngest daughter, and My cousin was like, that Glenora is strong. And yes, it is strong. Her genes are in us all, and it's just amazing. So really, if your grandparents are around, love on them as much as possible. We're going to go ahead and set with our Morphe setting spray. Our continuous setting spray. My favorite setting spray. Oh, I always say blush is my favorite, or foundation, or maybe even these lips, but I'm starting to think it might be the setting spray. Maybe it's everything. Maybe it's just everything. I'm just going to take my beauty blender and blend that soft, push that in. So for my highlighter, I'm going to go into this Halo by Smashbox. It has two different sides. It has a powder and it has a cream. I'm just going to go ahead and go in with a powder. And I picked this Halo because it's kind of bronzy, so I felt like it would go with the look. But I know my grandmother is watching me 24/7 and she has a halo on her head, you know, and any parent, grandparent that's not around, know that they're watching you. Ooh. This highlighter is bomb. I'm just gonna put a little here, a little here. I think I took the cream and we're gonna be real precise and we're just gonna put that on our nose. Ooh, yes. A little bit down. Yes. I'm gonna set it with the powder. That's so pretty. I'm gonna do the cream on my lip too. I really, really love this highlighter. So pretty. Actually, just to make sure that's all blended, I'm going to take my blush brush and just blend it out so it's nice and seamless into the brush, the highlighter. Ooh, Glenora, yes. Okay, so next, final thing is we're going to go into our lip. And I'm going to do a lipstick, and this is by NARS, and this is Do It Again, and it's a chocolatey brown. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because my grandmother had some chocolatey brown lips, and her kisses were everything. That's what I remember the most about her. They were wet, they were juicy, and they were awesome. And it made you feel like, man, this woman loves me just by the way she gave her kisses. So, do it again. I love the way this lipstick feels. I love the way it dries down. I love the way it looks. So this is the final look. Yes, it's Glenora for me. I hope you love this look. One thing I'm going to leave you with is a couple things that my grandmother would say. The best advice that she can give is don't worry. And I totally agree with her on that. No matter what you're going through, if you can, just leave it to the Most High. Because why worry yourself and stress yourself out on a regular basis? So definitely keep that with you. Don't worry about the small things. Don't worry about the big things. Just do what you can do as a human being and know that you're doing the best and hope that it's in God's will. The other thing she said is, I'll be like you on white on rice. Okay. I can't say the other thing she used to say, but if you're old school, you might know it. Okay, but I'll be on you like white on rice. And I tell my kids that too. Keep playing with me. I'll be on you like white on rice. And white ain't coming off unless it's some brown rice. Okay, but thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, love on your family members that are still here, your grandmothers, your grandpas, your moms, your dads, and just know that life is too short. And we'll see you next time. Peace.